everybody. We are live with the man, the myth, the legend, Carl Finch. Thank you very, very, very much for being here. For those of you that have never heard of him before, Carl is with Brave Combo. Would frontman be the right title? Or
I guess that fits, but you can't come up with any more than man, myth, and legend. God, Jake.
I know, I'm falling down on the job. I am.
I can come up with more superlatives to apply to you than that. This is the man. We wouldn't be here. We would not be here without this one. So
I don't know if that's true either. But
oh, I do.
Well, I appreciate you being here. It really is a true honor, and I'm really, really excited to get to have you here. And wanted to get you in the studio for quite a while, and this became the perfect opportunity because Arts and Jazz Fest is coming up this weekend.
It's coming up,
and
that rainstorm's coming up too, huh?
Yeah,
it's just like every year.
Every year, it's just a flip of the coin. But usually, the entire fest keeps going, rain or shine. Every now and you might miss an event or two, but luckily, we usually get pretty lucky, and everybody's willing to play, even if they get a little wet. So
the stages are elevated, so
yeah,
you're out of the mud.
Exactly. You can just the audience can roll around, and it's just a good time. We'll get into Arts and Jazz Fest a little bit later, but I wanted to get to ask from the horse's mouth, I guess. How would you describe two-time Grammy award-winning Denton-based band Brave Combo? How would you describe that to somebody who's never heard Brave Combo before?
Well, first of all, I describe us as very lucky. With a lot of the great things that have happened, we've been really lucky to be in the right place at the right time and maybe to be doing the right thing. But many, many years ago, I was a student at North Texas State University, which is in Denton, Texas. Mm-hmm. And it's now UNT.
Right.
Still in Denton, yeah. And I was working on my master's and had no idea what I was going to do once I finished that degree. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to just keep that going, although I considered it. So I was working with sound and working with the idea of music and working with the idea of how people respond to music, and also studying the ideas behind something like Muzak, which goes beyond music into encouraging people to do what you want them to do. Mm-hmm. And Muzak is actually technically called stimulus progression.
Okay. And
that's a formula that music is pumped into a place of business. The business will subscribe to a service, mm-hmm. and then they like if it's Muzak, for instance, then that music's pumped into the business, mm-hmm. and the music is set up to get the most productivity out of the workers from like an 8 to 5. So that's the whole point of it. And a lot of people think Muzak's background music. Mm-hmm. It's actually the opposite of background music. So I started thinking about all of that. Like, okay, well, people are using music for a lot of reasons, mm-hmm. and people have a lot of different judgments about the purpose of music or what they like and what they don't like, and how the mainstream perceives music. And I was led very magically to a store that was selling a whole lot of polka records on sale. They were cutouts, and they were really cheap. I think I remember them being $1 or $2 an album. Wow. And I didn't know that much about polka music, but I saw these stacks and stacks of vinyl albums. This was in like 1978. Wow. And I was pretty excited about any time I would come across a good deal with vinyl, I bought it. My record collection by that point was pretty large, 45s and 33 vinyl LPs. Wow. So I bought a bunch of these and took them home, and it changed my life. And I started listening to this music as music, not as something that accompanies beer or something that accompanies sausage or something that accompanies goofy clothes, but I tried to just listen to it as music. And that became the cornerstone of my idea. And then after a while, I was working with audio sound installations and things for a while, trying to get that point across. The point being that all music is music, and that the least judgment you can apply to a style of music or to music in general, the more you are going to have your life enhanced because your ears will be opened bigger. If you shut your ears down, you're really, none of us wants to be like our stuffy parents. Turn that noise down. Yet,
Right.
the tendency as we get older, or the tendency really is to have really strong opinions. This is good, this is bad. So when I started thinking about polka being the cornerstone of whatever is this that I was going to do, I'm starting out with the music that is the most kicked around music, the most maligned, the most misunderstood music, the music that's always the butt of the joke. So, but that became the cornerstone for what I was doing, was polka. So when Brave Combo started, that was the idea, was to take polka out of where most people perceive it to be, where it should be, and to put it in places where it doesn't belong. So we toured, got a band together, toured and played clubs, and we played polkas instead of what people expected us to play.
Right.
And in the beginning, a lot of people thought it was just novelty and that we were just kind of doing a shtick, but we knew we weren't. And so what we found in the process is that the community that embraced punk and the early stages of new wave really liked us. So we were able to move quickly as this weird band from Denton, Texas, playing polkas in a town that's known for jazz. Somehow that strange juxtaposition brought us opportunities because we were just not like anything else. We were the most like punk bands because we were kind of thumbing our nose at the establishment, which we were.
Right.
We were playing a music that the establishment was pretty much, they were either ignoring it or they had just completely written it off. And our idea was to force it on people. And in doing so, hopefully, to expand their own sphere of acceptance so that other music might be able to sneak in as well. And you wouldn't have somebody who likes rock but hates country, and that's it.
Right.
Because that's the way the world kind of is. You have to prod people to not do that.
Right.
People find the definition of what they are by their opinions. So they can have a strong opinion, and somehow that circles back inside them and makes them feel better because somehow they've mustered up a strong opinion.
Yeah.
Which in the day of Facebook, by the way, dime a dozen, huh?
Right.
Is there anyone not? It's like, it's so funny, isn't it? Everybody's puffed up with their opinions because they're so unique.
Right.
And they're so special with their opinions. But come on, you're one of 7 billion people with really strong opinions.
Right.
The radical thing to do is to have no opinions.
Interesting.
To reduce them. So you don't really care. You don't even have a favorite color.
Yeah.
You don't even talk about your favorite color.
Love that.
It's wasted time and wasted breath.
Interesting.
And even something that simple where you make yourself have a favorite color, that's almost a dangerous thing to do. Like the more you can not have a favorite anything, or a least favorite anything, pull it to the middle so you're not accepting one thing to reject another, because that's what it boils down to. If your favorite color is blue, you're rejecting green as your favorite color. But that's kind of
no, it's very profoundly said.
it's just that's what the band is about. That's the whole idea, is like reducing that tendency, which is really fighting a losing battle now with things like social media, where everybody does get so proud of their manufacturer's stand.
Right.
They do get so proud of it. It's hard to break through that sometimes,
Interesting. Very, very interesting. And very well said, by the way.
Well, just turn me on and the words start falling out. Sorry about that.
No, I love it. I love it. You said something to me one time that haunted me. You were recalling some work you had done with somebody. They were a young artist, and you said that your advice to them was, do you want to create art or do you want to create something that looks like art? And I don't know if you could see it on my face, but you wrecked my world that day. I
Wow.
mean, that shook me big
Wow.
and really got me thinking about what it is that people create. And you know, I think there's some value out there in the world for somebody that finds love and finds their art in doing something that looks like somebody else. But here in Denton, we I think you've got a fertile ground to do something original, to do something independent, to do something that's just yours, and to do something that truly is art and not just looks like somebody else's thing. I think that's what really helps us all. I think so many people are able to thrive here because so much of that has been embraced, large part because of projects like yours that have forced people to think differently about what it is that they're consuming. What was the moment when you took polka and had these other influences in it and all you know, you were doing something that was so unique and so different? What was the moment that you just said, we're on to something?
Wow. Well, there were a lot of reinforcing things early on. A lot of things where I was really surprised at the enthusiasm and the numbers of people that were just showing up. Because I thought it was going to be, I was kind of used to doing pieces in galleries and performance spaces where it's a smattering of people coming to appreciate what you do. It's not a big crowd of people. So I'm used to I was used to, here's what I do. Here's the thing I do. I did a thing with drive-in theater speakers. And the piece was to play the music you hear at a drive-in during the intermission. That's the piece. It didn't, even though the movie's the big event, right? For me, the big event was the intermission, and I wanted it to sound like that, you know. But it was not like a big crowd of people come up and dance to it like Brave Combo. People just come around, you know. So I was accustomed to just doing this thing, and then people show up or not. So I was surprised that people responded, but I think. Honestly, I think I knew that we were onto something before we even tried, because it all just made sense. Everything was, I don't know how to put this, but sometimes you do things and the result is that your awareness of the world just got bigger. And that you don't know what you did exactly. You just know suddenly you're more aware of, in a broader sense. You see things more from a up high and looking down, so you can see the big picture more clearly. And I can remember those moments. I think the day that we were lining up for the Macy's parade was one of those times that I thought, wow, I can't believe I'm looking at Dionne Warwick here and Woody Woodpecker here. This is strange on so many levels, but it also is so fulfilling artistically, you know, personally. Like where I wanted this thing to go. I wanted it to be extremely subversive because it's anti-mainstream. Just its existence is anti-mainstream. So I wanted that to be not. I didn't want compromises there, but I also wanted to figure out how to trick people into digging it and to making them feel okay about it. Because generally, if people are just allowed to just open their ears and not be influenced by anything and making their own mind up, they might find that they like a lot more than they think they do. But we're so encumbered by what other people think of us and how we can't have our own thought without being externally legitimized. Someone else telling us it's okay to like that. So if you're liking it, that's fine. You know, there are people out there that think this is cool. You know, and to try to figure out how to take the whole, is this hip or not? Try to remove that from people so they're not weighted down by it, and then they can just respond to something without having to have all these attachments to it that say it's cool or not. and so I know I'm throwing a lot out at you, but this is kind of what it's about. The band, if you look back at all the stuff we talked about in the beginning, it's the same thing. It's trying to remove the pressure of whether that's cool or not. And that's what punk was about. That's what the early days of new wave were about, was just screw all that other stuff. We're just doing this. And to a lot of the people in the beginning, it made no sense.
Yeah.
Like, how can you listen to this band, which sounds like they can barely play their instruments, rather than the Eagles?
Right.
Well, if Eagles sound like they're kind of writing by formula.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly sounds like they're recording by formula. It certainly sounds like they took a long time getting the drum sound.
Right.
Certainly sounds like they spent a lot of time on those vocals. So it starts to sound kind of soulless, kind of a lot of overproduced stuff.
Yeah.
You can start to go, wow, this is almost like listening to nothing. It's so cleaned up. It's so precise. It's so perfect. And it's so formulaic that how could punk not have happened?
Right.
Seriously, how could disco not have happened? I remember people hated disco. Well, man, and when you look at it now, disco is pretty refreshing compared to what most of America was listening to on rock radio. That stuff couldn't have gotten much more laborious or predictable or even visually.
Yeah.
Why was anybody getting excited about any of that stuff?
Interesting. So let me ask you this. So I think Brave Combo, you've got such a great fan base, and everybody loves coming to see you guys, and I know a lot. It's, as you were saying, Brave Combo doing this polka music. It's anti-establishments. It's all these kind of things. But I feel like your fans love it so much, and I think you're obviously very conscious of your fans and want to love on them and all those kind of things. Where's the balance for a musician wanting to create something between doing their own thing but also listening to the audience for feedback of what they love and what they responded to? The song you may think is the best one, the audience may think the third song was the best one, and want to hear that. Where is that balance in how you entertain your audience versus creating that art form?
Man, if a song doesn't go over 2 or 3 times, it's if it's just not going over,
right?
And that happens. It's just a guilty pleasure. Then there's been some songs that I've been surprised. Wow, why aren't people digging this more? But sometimes it's just a personal thing, and you can't go beyond that. But I think that I've asked the audience over the decades to accept a lot. To go out on a pretty long limb with us. We probably, for sure, with things like, even though I know that when we do the chicken dance or the hokey pokey, like a lot of people think that that's a cop out because it's so easy. It's such an easy thing. You're really playing too much to the audience, But from a Brave Combo point of view, both of these represent, we've taken something that is that, and we've done some things to it
your way
that changes it musically, yet the audience still follows us here. We had the chicken dance one time for a whole season. We had it reduced to this. Ging, 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 bong, 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 ging, 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 gong, 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 ging, 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 ging. We didn't play.
Really?
Let's do the chicken dance. Bong, 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 boom, 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 boom,
Love
ging,
it.
ging. And people did it.
Yeah.
They just wanted to do this.
Yeah.
So that when you see something, when you witness something like that, and people will follow you there, and they're happy to go down your crazy path. That kind of makes you want to keep going. Like the way we don't go. Like this last month, we worked up 2 new Yiddish songs.
Okay.
Romanian song. We brushed off one of our Armenian songs. We rewrote the lyrics to Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Songs to reflect more of a current situation. And so have reached very little into the normal world still.
Yeah.
We're pretty much driven quite selfishly. We'll hear something we dig, Then we want to play this.
Yeah.
Now let's see if we can play it in a way the audience will let us play it.
Right.
Because we want to play this and
Yeah.
we want to do this. Like this Romanian song's it's a stretch. It's because it doesn't sound like anything at all that you would hear on the radio.
Right.
It just doesn't. It's really intoxicating, and you really want to hear it, but making it work. I mean, that's one of my challenges personally right now is making this song work because I dig the song so much. I've written English lyrics to it, but still trying to keep that exact same flavor that the song has. That makes it so special. But I don't want to just keep people totally confused. I mean, and I don't want to learn the phonetic Romanian.
Right.
That'd take me forever. I do that a lot. I do that enough.
I love it.
My Spanish is only as good as my pronunciation is at that moment.
Yeah.
It really doesn't go much deeper than that. So I'm always wondering if did I say that word just right, It's one of the dangers.
Yeah.
We've been told on as many occasions, though, that when we're trying to sing in Greek or Japanese or whatever, as many times we've been told that's pretty good, as we've been told that wasn't very good.
Yeah,
So
we need to cut that.
No one ever says it's great, which is okay.
I love it. And that's cool. Very, very, very cool. Okay, so you're playing Arts and Jazz. You guys are always the big finale closeout on Sunday.
With the last gasp.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
This is it, folks.
The big crescendo to it all. So Sunday at 9 o'clock, right?
7.
7 o'clock. So, because it closes early on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The 9 o'clock headlines Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. Sunday, y'all are 7.
I think so.
Cool.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Check your local listing.
DentonJazzFest.com. If you gotta check
we
it out.
apparently don't know.
But 7 o'clock, I think you're right.
Is it this Sunday?
Yeah, right.
Are you sure this isn't a month away?
It'll be sometime. just keep showing up to the park, and eventually they'll hook you
which
up.
festival is this you were talking about?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay, so you've done Arts and Jazz Fest for so many years now. What are some of the memories that have stuck out? Some of your favorite memories of Arts and Jazz Fest?
Favorite?
Yeah.
Or memories that stood out.
Okay, let's do memories that stood out because it'll probably make for better stories.
Yeah. Well, Carol, the short, Carol.
Oh, yeah.
She's the director. I told this story recently, and she wanted me to let everybody know she was cool with it. But one year, if you come to see Brave Combo, we have little control over this, but up toward the front of the stage, the audience divides into two groups. And to our left are rowdy folks. And that's just the way it's been for a long time. And that crowd gets bigger and bigger. And so there's going to be a couple of thousand rowdy people right there that'll fill up that whole. And then over here are people who want to set up their towels and have their little area to set up. So one year, some people that wanted to be on the towel side somehow set all their little coolers and stuff up on the side that was eventually going to be consumed. and it's like a water, you can't stop it. It's not nothing's going to stop it. So I was watching this as I was kind of getting ready and seeing their little space get squashed more and more and more. So by the time we get on the stage, and by the time we are playing 30 minutes, that group of people's gasping for air. I mean, the chain link is keeping them from. They're not into the moshing and the all the stuff that's going on. They just want out of there, but they're trapped by chain links. So I stopped the show, and I called as many policemen as I could over to the front, and I said. All I could do was say, we've got to get this fence open, and we need to release these people, and we have no place to put them, so they get to come backstage. It's the only place we could put them. There was no place to put them. Over here was packed. This was beyond packed. Yeah. I couldn't say, let's put these 20 people here.
Right.
Because that would make those people mad.
Exactly.
Plus the police were already having to dismantle one of the fences. It's just insane, isn't it?
It is
I mean,
insane.
here
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
wow, I'm in charge of this whole thing right now. But there was I felt like I had to do something fast because it really did look like it was going to become a bad situation. And at any moment, it could have, like, I've seen things from that perspective spark.
Right.
So I kind of know what it looks like when something's about to go haywire.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was headed that way. So the police came over and opened up, led them all out, and then didn't have any place to put them. So we fixed up a little area, like literally right in front of the stage, like right there, and then just lined them up there, and that's what happened. So that's one thing. I mean, it's such a great event, and for Denton to be able to maintain this and do it year after year after year is great. I would love to see. I would love for everybody who conceptualizes the festival to just keep their brain on going, set on high.
Yeah.
And to keep thinking about, look at the places that it can be improved, and let's make it better, and let's make it better. And I know they are. I know that everybody has that in their minds. But I would encourage them to, because there's already the support's huge. Already everybody wants it to succeed. I just like to see it get even better and better.
Yeah. Well, just the simple math of the festival. I mean, you got 130,000 people in Denton, and then for Arts and Jazz, you get like 250,000 people. So you've like double. You got the whole town, and then a couple other towns, all in one place in 3 days. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
And I think that the festival was really smart. They had something of a vision for us. Or many years ago, we were on a Saturday. We closed out the Saturday show, and they said, let's try the Sunday. And I know that they wanted to try to make the Sunday a little different, so that the Sunday has some weight too, because they would have the main headliners Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday was the third day, and they wanted it to not be perceived that way. That's what I thought. So I was against it at first, because here we are on Saturday night, enjoying these big crowds, going, oh man, really? Move us to Sunday? Man, oh man, it was such a smart thing. They, I think the festival literally created this whole, what I call the homecoming thing. Like they, whether they just stumbled on the idea and it worked or whatever, hats off to them, because it did. I think it made the day. It gives the day substance during the day, so people aren't trickling away. And then it does seem like it's kind of become, okay, here's what everybody gets together and does. Everyone's friends get together, families get together. People come, for that last set in particular, in addition to everything else. But and some people already have in their mind where they're going to be set up on the grounds. I mean, they know where they're going to put their blankets and stuff. They get out there early and stake their claim. And that was smart thinking. That was a really good idea. That's kind of what I'm talking about, is how do you just make it better and better? Right. It does seem like if it grows too much more, it's kind of at the max at times now. The bridge area between the front and the
gosh, yeah.
I would love to see some solution to that, that they could easily put up something that would make that, for instance, that area to connect that, so it didn't become, but I'm not in charge. So, if anyone wants to know, that's what I just think it would make the flow of it all better. But that's a small thing.
Well, and if you've never been to Arts and Jazz, you'll see what we're talking about. It is quite full of people because it's such a great time. Don't let the crowds deter you. I'm even one of those people, and it's funny because I do so much work in events that when an event goes almost too well, and there's people all over, I'll usually lean to somebody and be like, I'm not having as much fun, and usually somebody will lean back and go, then I think you're in the wrong business. But
well, it's when no one's there, that space seems enormous. But when you put that many people in there,
it's incredible.
It is incredible, and it's not just music. I mean, there are artists traveling. This is one of their stops. This is one of the festivals they go to. All these artists that go around to all the festivals and sell their work. This is one of their stops. This is one of their main reasons. So it's not just music. There's a ton of those people out there
yeah.
selling their sculpture and their paintings and their photography.
It's amazing.
And then there's food and humanity.
Yeah.
There's a lot of humanity.
Yes, there is. There is so much music, food, fun, artwork, humanity. As you're saying, there's so much going on. This is the event. If you've ever been going, okay, I wonder if I'm going to go to Denton. This is the event you got to go to. Denton Arts and Jazz Fest. It's free to get in.
That's amazing.
Isn't it? Oh, my gosh. It's something like the largest free event in Texas, something like that. I mean,
if
it's
they
so
charge
big.
$10 a person and you and I figured out how to – you have some connections, don't you?
Not like that. I needed to remain
How
free
much would
so
that
I can
be?
pay to get in.
$10 times 200,000 people.
Oh, my gosh.
We could retire.
I don't
Jake.
even want to think about it.
No, there's no reason. We'd have to share that with somebody. Carol. We'd have to give Carol Short some of that.
Carol something. But man, they do such a good job and work so hard every year to create such an amazing festival and do things to make it free and available to the public so they can consume so much music, so much art, so many wonderful things. It's an honor. It's an honor to even get to talk about it and work in some of the promo for it and everything. Love Denton Arts and Jazz Festival. It is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Brave Combo will be headlining on Sunday at 7 o'clock. Make sure you check it out and come on to Denton. This is an event you just don't want to miss. We're going to keep bringing you all sorts of Denton Arts and Jazz information all throughout the festival. And so stay tuned on Denton Radio as well as Facebook and Twitter. Thank you all for watching. We got a lot of comments on Twitter. We wanted to make sure we recognize you guys. Thank you for the compliments on the new table and everything like that. So they've been commenting saying new table.
So this is new.
This is new.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I didn't know how it
record
was.
spinning.
That looks really good.
Yeah, it does. That shot over there is kind of out of the shot, unfortunately.
Can they see? Can they see?
They can see it over here, so it looks like a vinyl record.
They play that track.
Is that yeah? All right. Ed Steele was in here the other day, and he said, "Does it spin?" And I was like, "It doesn't spin." He goes, "It'd be cooler if it spun." And I was like, "Thanks, Ed." But no, Ed's a great friend. Anyways, thank you all very much for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it, and we will see all of you at the Denton Arts and Jazz Festival. Thank you so much for being here, Carl. We greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure, Jake.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you for being you, and I mean that.
You the man. Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com to find new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're there, check out the rest of Discover Denton to find restaurants, hotels, and tons of great community events.